Hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream today. How are you all doing? Looking well rested? I wouldn't quite say that, to be honest. I was um I was up really early yesterday for the Eric interview. Did I see the news? What news? Um and then basically all I've been doing for the last 2 days, 3 days. How long has it been? I've just been prepping for the deep dives. Literally from dusk till dawn. I was like, who needs all that mess with the game recaps at the end of the season? They take too long. And then I just ended up doing all of the prep work anyway for these deep dives, or for at least one deep dive. Ashley has agreed to do a deep dive. The hope is to get it done soon. Um, probably, not sure. Probably that's the only one I can get done before the audiobook recording, which is next week. Um, but we are trying. We're doing our best to get interviews generally as well. I thought the podcast with Eric was very fun. What I will say is it was very early in the morning for me, at least, and I was expecting to just like hang out. And then before we started, we were like, oh no, it would be so funny if we did this with Eric as the mastermind. And I was like, oh, that is really fun. And then realized pretty quickly into it, like, oh man, I was not awake enough to do 40 minutes of improv. I think I did well. I think I did well. I think that there were a couple of moments where I could not find the words for the thing I was trying to say. There were like two instances where I was just like, what is the word I'm trying to think of? Um, anyway, we're here for Survivor, of course. The plan for the Patreon is that I will leave up the VOD or put up the VOD temporarily. The old one will come down. That is my current tentative plan. We'll hopefully have a jet lag. I'll try to get a jet lag up tomorrow. And then the Amazing Race will also come up tomorrow, I guess. Or maybe the jet lag will do a little bit later, actually. We'll do Amazing Race tomorrow. Jet lag, maybe Friday or something. Jet lag can stay up. Just Amazing Race and Survivor will come down. When do I get a break? Not soon. Not soon. We are gonna do it a Legally Blonde stream tomorrow for the Patreon. We are just there. It is. All right, prediction 7 p.m. Pacific. Commercial by 5:14. So I'm pretty tired today. Yes, I can show where I am. Really? Yeah. Dirt that kind of moves doesn't feel better. That feels worse. It's not a great thing to say for somebody that was the decoy vote last time. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, she's also like a CEO, right? That was her deal. She used to be like a CEO. I mean, she's not a fan, right? There's no way. I don't recall. This music different? Yeah, it is. Warwick gifting 5 subs. Hold on, I didn't have the right sound bites open, so I just almost went to press this one.
Keanu got an enormous ass.
Because that's in the place of where
Wow, a 5
is on that page. That's massive. Listen, I told you guys. His pet peeve was Swifties. Just kidding. We're already seeing it. I think people like are way too weird about generational language. Yeah, are we Rick Devonsing again? Listen, we know they love Devons. Makes sense that they love Savannah. I swear now they're just trying to insert vibes as much as possible. Boy. I mean, what I will say is I think that being the fourth in an alliance of four in a tribe of six is not the worst after one round anyway. Because the odds of you losing three tribals back to back to back are not super high, and hierarchy in Survivor is not as important as hierarchy in Big Brother. Because at least in the current meta, it used to be more important than Big Brother, but now it's less important. The current meta is so fast and so headhunty that it's not as important. However, if you can get into a spot where it's even better and you have a good relationship with Sophie and you think you can pull a different group, yeah, why not? Absolutely, you go for that. That's not a question. Um, so there was no commercial. Do I like the 3 tribe of 6 format? I do, generally. I think they've run it a few too many times in a row. I think we could use some variety. We have 2 seasons a year. I don't think it would kill them to run a 2 tribe format every once in a while. Um, why am I starting a prediction? Shouldn't I be resolving a prediction? Did I already resolve it? Hold on. One sec here. No commercial. There it goes. Next prediction. Let's just do challenge. 30 seconds on the clock. Quick one. Amazing Race, we're not going to do streamed. It's going to be Patreon this week at least. I'm open to potentially streaming future weeks, but not tonight. And next week will also be pretty interesting. I will be in LA. I may or may not be able to stream Survivor. We're back, by the way. Second tier or higher for Legally Blonde. I forget his name, but I like him. Jeremiah. I'm a natural born leader, guys. Oh, he's trying to take her shoes. It's funnier when it's not personal. Whose are these? They're Annie's. He takes one. Does he not think he's gonna get caught? A sports mascot? She seems like an Easter bunny. Am I wrong? I was noting like all their bags look exactly the same. Yikes. No challenge. Next prediction. Maybe run it back. Does Annie notice her shoe is missing? No, that would have been a good one. Sorry, I'm not. I'm still pretty tired overall. Bit more of a low key stream today. I mean, listen, what I will say is you definitely got to be careful about which bag you take. I when I was a kid, this doesn't it's not a bag. When I was a kid, we were having dinner or something at a restaurant with some family. I was a kid, and it was my aunt. My aunt was with us. She sent me out to her car to get something out of her car. I didn't want to do it. I was like, why am I going? I don't, to this day, I don't remember why it was me that had to go. Sent me out to her car to get something with her keys. I went out. I looked for a car that had the same logo as the key. Opened the car with the key. Looked around the car. Could not find the thing that she was asking me for. Spent, in my memory, 10 minutes trying to find it. Went back. What's going on? I can't find this thing. She's like, I'm telling you, it's right in this specific spot. I go back out to go back to the car. There's a large man entering it. Traumatizing. Traumatizing. How did the key open it? That is a mystery my young self never solved. My assumption as an adult is that it was already unlocked and that I just put the key in and thought it unlocked it. All right, we're back. I thought for sure that man definitely knew I was in his car because I was not gone for very long. I swear to you, he waited until I left and then got in his car and left. We're journeying. Did I tell my mom and aunt what happened? I honestly don't remember. Yeah, 90 minutes. Yeah, it's pretty strange that they let Jawan go. I wasn't paying attention to how they decided. I'm getting disoriented by the angles here. Does this count as a challenge? Is a good question. You know what? I'm gonna have to say yes. It's a journey. Hmm. I'm not on the couch. Jeff, are your eyes okay? Um, is it a challenge? I think I need people who did not vote in the prediction. Only people who did not. Because I can see if you voted. I can see. Yeah, people in the Patreon. Wait, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I have a good idea. YouTube poll. The YouTube audience is a neutral third party. And they are saying, yes, it was a challenge. Good 2/3 of the vote. YouTube has decided. Slam the gavel. Boo, what do they know? Next prediction. What does he decide to do? Vote or challenge thing. 30 seconds on the clock. Oh, crap. It might have already happened. I'm kind of... Ariel, thank you for the $2. Is YouTube the judges? If so, I call Bean Rachel. I think that's ultimately a good decision because it helps potentially keep your tribe together, which helps you whether or not you're in with them. And yeah, having one extra vote if he's on the outs doesn't actually do much for him. So lost as a new viewer. Oh boy. Unfortunately, that's fair. A shoe eater. It's so strange to me the way that people operate in these games. So they're forcing him to do this in the small amount of time between a loss and the tribal. So I think the idea is that like he has to spend time um getting the idol instead of actually strategizing for the vote. So he did the challenge thing. And now we're gonna go. Do we get a challenge? So many challengey predictions. Um, yeah, so Sophie being like, "Hey, I really want to work with Alex, but or sorry, with Jake, but he really wants to work with Alex. I want him to work with me." The thing about that for me is that like why are you so set on working with the one person? To me, these games are all about flexibility. Um, and well, not all about flexibility. Flexibility is a big part of them, and it's about picking your best path forward. And maybe that path is Jake. I like. There are definitely scenarios where it's like, for instance, Ashley on Big Brother during the season, toward the end, she was like, "Damn, I wish I could get to the end with Kelly." But Kelly's such a wild card and doesn't like me that I can't trust her enough to keep her around. Um, it would be great if I could work with Kelly because I beat her in the end, but I just can't. So I have to find another path. And the same is like, the same is sometimes true where it's like, you would love to be able to go in a certain direction. But if other things are in your way, you have to be able to pivot. You have to be able to find a new direction. Or you can find a way to make it work. But sometimes people are just so set on one person, on one path, that they just like neglect everything else. Sophie going to Jake and his immediate response being, "I'm in a bromance with a guy I haven't even talked to yet," was such a red flag. And if she puts all of her chips into that basket, it's just like, well, why? Like, why are you so set on this? We saw, we have seen players do this before. Corey really wanting his alliance with Mimi to work. Um, Yes, of course. Keanu really wanting to work with a man. Um, Vince really wanting to only nominate his allies. You just barely ordered the signed copy on the last day. Glad you got it in. And we're back. And it's a challenge. Who got the disadvantage? Red, blue, yellow, because I don't remember which drive Jawan was on. You have 30 seconds for this prediction. I think that if you are choosing a team, I think you pick the team that did not lose last time, not blue. So yellow, I think. Just sort of like politically, if you really want to make sure the disadvantage works, you put it on blue because they already lost. £20 of coconuts. Part 1. $10? Oh, okay. At this point, I'd probably give it to yellow. I think it makes sense. It feels fair. And then Hina taking it that way, not the right way to take it. They're pitting themselves against the other two. Oh, they're coming for us. Well, you've just put them in a group together. You say it makes sense. It's not personal. You're still three separate tribes. You don't have to feel that way, but it's what you should say. I feel like the disadvantage sounds worse than it actually is. Because I feel like the puzzle is always the great equalizer. Anyway. And there's no disadvantage for the puzzle. Very cool. That looked like it was going to kill him. They're barely behind so far. Okay, that bridge thing looks like one of the most fun. Oh, the band-aids. Yellow ahead of red right now. Ooh, those coconuts look like they just slammed her in the head. I just think it'd be fun to run across the little beams. Dig deep. I'm telling you, this disadvantage wasn't as big of a disadvantage as it sounded like. The key thing will make them take like an extra 30 seconds at most. I mean, they made the right pick ultimately, so far at least. Because Blue, I think, would have been out ahead regardless. So they did slow down the team that they had the best chance of beating. Ooh! The catch? Can we talk about that catch from, I think, Alex? No, not Alex. Who is it? Who caught him? From Juwan. It looked like he completely missed, and then Juwan caught him. Oh my god. Blue. Blue is so bad at puzzles. They've made no progress at all. That's wild. Literally no progress. I'm putting this one in the deep freeze, he said. That's wild. I don't think they had a single connection. I don't think they had two pieces chained together. Was that a shot? Did Jeff just take a shot at Big Brother? All right. Next prediction. First confessional when we get back. Is it going to be... Oh, geez. Now I need to remember names, though. Jake, Alex, Sophie, Annie. Who's the fifth person? Jeremiah. Did I get that right? If it's the first confessional of them. If it's for some reason not that tribe, we'll wait until we get to that tribe. But it has to be one of them because I didn't include other. um, that actually worked out perfectly for Red Tribe. Let me tell you why I think that. Putting the disadvantage on yellow and then having them come in first place anyway is a really great starting point for the merge if you're Red Tribe. If Blue is the disaster tribe and they're going to keep whittling themselves down, what that means is that whoever remains from Blue Tribe will end up being the swing vote, theoretically, between red and yellow. That's if tribes stay together. They don't often stay together for very long. But at the very least, at like a merge vote, you're usually looking at something kind of like that. So like if we look at it from a very broad perspective, red and yellow will come in with relatively equal numbers. Maybe one of them loses a challenge or two. But blue will likely be the tribe with the fewest amount of players. That makes them the swing vote. That makes them the, Jam Jam Carson, Carolyn tribe, right? Don't forget what they were called. You want to have garnered the best relationship with that swing vote tribe as possible. You spared them from giving them a disadvantage, and you gave yellow a disadvantage. And so that alone is good because now you've developed a kind of rapport with them, a little bit of a relationship. Yellow acted very upset about it. On top of that, even better, they came out and beat you both anyway. That's putting a massive target on Yellow Tribe. Really helps sell this idea that blue and red need to stick together against yellow. And wow, there's a lot of spiders. Who's the spider? Who do we think the spider is? Sophie? Annie? Can't be Savannah. She's not on the tribe. Who is this? Sophie? Or is it Annie? It's Annie. I was steadfast until I changed my mind. Why is he laughing like that? Oh, I forgot about Alex having the idol thing. Potato, potato. He needs to unlock it with the key attached to the thing. I'm in favor of this. They need to keep making it harder and harder. Because everyone always wins. Everyone always gets the idol. You know what I mean? Nobody ever gets caught. Jeez, her legs. Well, you'd have to unlock it with the ball and chain. No, she's just gonna let it disintegrate. I don't hate this. Oh, you found it anyway. That would have been really funny. Okay. At first I was like, I like this idea, but as he was explaining it, it made less sense to me. You can't just vote out Sophie without Jake being mad. Like Jake's not Keanu. You know what I mean? Very few people are. Um you can't just be like, I blindside you, take out your ally, and now you're my number one. um you certainly shouldn't be using your idol for it. Here, let me pull up a prediction. Last person to speak at Tribal. And it's all the same people. Speak before the vote. I mean, last person to speak before the vote. So you'd have to pull Annie and Jeremiah. I mean, basically, you're just abandoning Jake. You're pulling Annie and Jeremiah. You're abandoning Jake. You're voting out Sophie. If you want to keep working with Jake, you can't do that. And the move doesn't make a ton of sense. I mean, having an under the radar connection to Annie is super great. Annie obviously trusts him a lot. Annie's a great ally to have, I think. You should want to keep Annie. But I don't think he's done, it doesn't seem like he's done the work to make it happen successfully. Now, if you anticipate you're going to keep losing, yeah, you know what? I mean, he has the idol. Everyone knows he has the idol. I think the odds of Jake and Jeremiah coming together in the next vote are. It depends on his relationship with Jeremiah, is the major thing. I think there's a world where it's doable, but not with the idol, not if you plan to work with Jake, and not if you don't have a rock solid relationship with Jeremiah. All three of those things need to be locked in. Do you still get a signed copy of the book if you pre-order? Only at Eagle Eye now. There are signed book plates available. The other ones are no longer available. But it should be all labeled on the website. All right, we're back. People always talk about the sets for Tribal, and I just feel bad because to me they're all the same. I never look. I never look anywhere else but the people. Okay. Jeff, is it hot out? What are we doing? I think they poisoned themselves with the worms in the dirt. Are they living in the Stone Age? Pretty sure I saw some of them with band-aids on. Yeah, I actually didn't mind that metaphor. I hope no one found one. Literally everyone in the tribe knows. All right, let me double check. Annie's pet peeve: leaf blowers, biscuit cans. She's underperforming her pet peeves right now. Yeah, I think that was Annie. Last person to speak. It just feels like Annie to me. Theoretically, it could still be Sophie, but yeah, there it is. I feel like you don't want to normalize the hug after snuffing the torch. Because if everyone does it, you know, now I'm just getting dirty and smelly from these people who haven't showered in potentially weeks every single night. You know what I mean? Uh, um, so there's listen, I'm gonna say this already. I'm not very confident about my draft potential at this point. I'm not feeling very confident. Um, but this didn't feel like a great. I lost a draft member, so it's like that could be influencing me here. But like this felt like it's kind of felt like two boring episodes in a row. A little bit. They're not terrible episodes. They're like functional episodes, two boring tribals. I assume they're setting up because we've gotten so much love triangle stuff with Sophie and Alex. I assume they're setting up this to be the absolute disaster tribe, and um, and then hopefully next episode will be more interesting because they'll finally have to do something about it. Although it might not even be that; it might just be Jeremiah. I'm kind of getting the vibe that Savannah and her beef with Jawan is a little bit like uh what was her name with Bruce? They love to do these like beef edits. You know what I mean? Like one person, like all of their confessionals are always just about one other person. Like all of Savannah's confessionals are about Jawan. Katura, thank you. I feel like that might be a longer term storyline, but I'm not sure. Because if Savannah's a long term character, is it because this beef gets more like what? Like she's been so one note in the episodes. It seems like either they want to make her multifaceted soon and get rid of the beef. Oh, we're back. We're back. Or this is like her primary storyline and it somehow is super entertaining later. Here we go. All right. Um so no Amazing Race tonight. Perhaps in the future. Um I will have a video for the Amazing Race up on the Patreon. I will try to do that tomorrow. So you can check that out there. Next week is going to be tricky. I will be recording the audiobook in LA. So I'm not 1,000% sure whether I will be available or capable of doing a watch party stream. If I can, I will. If my voice isn't dead, which it might be, if I have the internet necessary, which I might not. So we'll see. Legally Blonde tomorrow for the patrons. 7 p.m. Pacific. Tier 2 and up, yeah. It'll be live on the Patreon. I will keep it up for a little bit on the Patreon. I've never seen Legally Blonde. No. Yeah. Which is funny because if I had been on the jury, I think I still would have gotten it though. I know enough about Legally Blonde. You know what I mean? If she had just said Elle Woods, I would have had no idea. But if she said Elle Woods from Legally Blonde, I would have been like, "Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about." Anyway, kind of a lame start to the season. I'll say from my perspective. I hope I feel like we need something more interesting next episode. I think you can't go 3 episodes in a row without something happening strategically. I feel like that'd be rough. Jeff is basically saying the season only gets good at the merge. Oh no. Oh no. Well, at least if it gets better at the merge. I feel like last season the merge kind of sucked. No? Yeah, someone gets bit by a snake. If you're on the Patreon, the Legally Blonde stream is already scheduled, so it should be on the page somewhere. Um. Anyway, any other final questions about the episode before we wrap up here? When is the Ashley deep dive? What I will say is it is tentatively scheduled at the moment. I don't want to give a date right now because there's always a chance it just gets rescheduled. Um, but it should hopefully be happening soon. Any word on Rachel Riley postseason interview? Rachel has agreed to do a deep dive. That one likely will be scheduled much later, um, just because of my audiobook recording. As of right now, Rachel is not available to do it before I leave to go to do the recording. But we might figure that out, or it might just be when I get back. Still working on the rest. Patreon says 7 Eastern? Yes. Oh, sorry. I keep saying 7 Pacific. I'm stupid. I'm sorry. Yeah, I meant 7 Eastern. Legally Blonde scheduled for 7 Eastern tomorrow. I'm telling you. I've been slaving away at this deep dive prep. Um yeah, they finally got back up. I mean it's basically like the deep dive prep is basically like prep for a live feed update, but the entire season. So it's just days and days of work. Did I see the paparazzi photo? I saw that happened, and you know, I mean, you already know my feelings on this, but like, they should be left alone. Like, I don't want to give it air because I don't want them to get, you know, I don't want the paparazzi to be rewarded and get a ton of attention for stalking people if that's what happened. Omer said on Twitter that snake is one of the most venomous in the world. I thought they were like playing around. Like it was in the preview, so I was like, I know Jake didn't die. If someone dies on a Survivor season, do they cancel the season or just edit them out? Unfortunately, that has happened. I believe. Right? In France? Am I right? Not on the US. Not in the US. Not in the US. I mean, this is actually I tell this story in the book. Actually, that the very first season of Survivor ever filmed, Expedition Robinson, before it came to the US, actually has a pretty tragic story where one of the cast members took their own life before the season aired. And they went through with airing it anyway. It's pretty gnarly stuff. Angela already giving sound bites. All right. I'm excited to watch Amazing Race. If you're in the Patreon, that'll be up tomorrow. Jet lag will go up Friday. Will be the plan. Legally Blonde tomorrow night, 7 Eastern. So lots of Patreon content coming. Streams in general will likely be a little dark for the next week or so with me being gone. But I'll be back. We'll keep things rolling. Anyway, thanks for hanging out here. Hope you enjoyed the stream, and I will see all of you eventually.